On videos I figured back with another review. This is the spoon playing cards, and it says that right there on the front, spoon playing cards. See all sorts of symbols. There's a star. There's these symbols in the corners which look like they are arcane magic type symbols, something. The figure eight infinity thing, and an eyeball in the center. All sorts of stuff. And this is from Kung Fu Music. It's pretty interesting. It's made by the USPC. It says, for games of skill and chance on one side with a club and a spade. Casino quality made in USA with a heart and diamond on the other side. It says, standard size three-eyed lions on top with a moon and a sun. And in the bottom, manufactured for Heads Inc., Austin, Texas, made in USA. It's kind of weird here they spell heads with a Z, but elsewhere they spell heads with an S. I don't understand that. It should have been the same, either one way or the other. Whatever. The back, you see the back design. I guess that's that three-eyed lion. Pretty interesting. Definitely Asian style. No seal, of course. The flap, you get some crowns. 4 different crowns, which is pretty unique. Usually you see spade pips or all 4 pips all over the place. Never do you see crowns, so definitely different. And here you get the infinity logos. And then we get to the cards. First of all, you get a very interesting gaff card I've never seen before. It's a 4 of everything. It's got 4 of hearts, 4 of spades, 4 of diamonds, 4 of clubs. Pretty interesting. I could see it being useful, but I'm not sure how useful. Here's your back design, yellow and red. Pretty nice. Pretty standard sized borders. A little thinner would have been nicer, but that's fine. You also get a double backer, which is the red on one side, the other side, blue. It's pretty cool. Nice for a color change effect. I like it. Then you get to the Jokers. It's a casket, and it's got the eye on it, and infinity, and it says RIP in the corners, all 4 corners, with a red blood drop. The other Joker, it says RIP, or RIP, I guess, in red with black drops. And it's got this circle with the symbols. There's the infinity symbol, triangle of some sort, sun and the moon. And it says Cochleary and Avans Litar, which I think is Latin, not too sure. I tried searching for it. The best translation I could get was spoon in trust something or something trust. Everywhere it doesn't make sense. I forget exactly what it was, but it didn't make a lot of sense. It was just kind of weird. I don't know how they got that, if it was just poorly translated. Then you get onto the aces. This one says, there you go, it says Heads Inc., but it's an S instead of a Z. I don't understand that. And it says Austin, Texas. You get the infinity thing on the bottom. Looks like a sun within the spade tip. It is nicely styled spade tip. You see these cards have 4 indexes, which is not normal for most decks, but it's fine. It's definitely pretty cool. The other aces are similar style and whatnot. Very nice. And then you get to the court cards. They're a little bit bizarre. Minimalist. They all got the infinity logo in the center. Queens have a bit of a floral look to them, which fits with kind of what you see in the standard court cards. This one is bizarre. It's actually a one-way, as you can see. They're different. I think this is a mistake because none of the other court cards show any kind of signs of being one-way. I think they simply forgot to color this in, shade it in, and, well, whoops. Small mistake. It's something that they obviously didn't notice. Kings have a crown. Again, the infinity symbol in the center. Jacks have some kind of a hat. And the queens, floral. You can see none of these other cards have any kind of a one-way thing to them like that one card, which makes me believe it was a mistake. So they're a little bit minimalist. They're just crowns and whatnot. But they're not too bad. And they got plenty of pips on them so you can identify them easy. And of course, the queens have a floral thing, the kings have a crown, and the jacks have a hat. So, Pretty interesting. Also, you look at the fonts. Pretty interesting. Completely custom fonts for the writing. And custom pips and everything. Then we get to the number cards. Nice custom pips. And layouts and everything. Just really cool. They use the space well. Some people will spread out the pips too much. Some will put them too close together. And these guys used it pretty well. So, as far as, well, let's get on to just a minute. Let me just put everything back together. I don't like to put all my aces and jokers all together. I like to keep them separate somewhat, as best as possible. So, as far as the backs are concerned, I do like it. It's a pretty nice back design. Obviously, mirror image and everything. I forgot to mention there's an N and an S here in the center, as well as a little infinity thing. There's some eyeballs in there and all sorts of other little symbols and whatnot. But I mean, overall, it's pretty nice. I will say 4 out of 5. As far as the faces are concerned, I like them. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the court cards, but there's nothing wrong with them. But I do like the number cards, the pips, and everything. The jokers are kind of interesting. The aces are very nice. So I will say 4 out of 5, perhaps, for the faces. Just because I'm not... I mean, if the court cards were a little more standard, a little nicer, and not just hats and crowns, it would have been higher probably. Usability for playing cards, either in Magic or whatever, they are fairly standard on the faces. Court cards are a little bit different. They might be a little bit harder to identify. But the number cards should be fairly easy to identify. You could probably, without too much difficulty, use them for playing cards or doing Magic. So I will say 3 3/4 out of 5, perhaps. Maybe 4 out of 5. Probably 4 out of 5. It is bicycle stock Iroquois Infinis. So handling is pretty good. So I will say again, 4 out of 5. Overall, solid. So yeah, overall, you know, pretty cool deck. It's not bad. It's definitely, I like it. It's better than some other decks you see out there. I'm like, well, Illusionist and Blue Crown and whatnot. So I'll give them props. You can get it at Kung Fu Music. I'll put the link in the description. As always, make sure you comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Check out collectibleplayingcards.com for all your card needs. Use the code VJose32. You get 10% off your order, so it's a win-win situation for everyone. And so I got. See you next time, and thanks for watching.